Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Friend asked me to try a small dry fly that won't sink. He says all these dry flies that are small sink, and this one certainly won't. So this has got CDC in it and a foam thorax, as you can see. This is a size 16, can probably tie it down to about a 20 and it'll still do the job, still look good. Let's get stuck right into it. So this is a size 16 light wire hook folks, and got some 80 grey tech stream. Just running this down, a couple of turns, probably 4, 5, 6 mil down, chopping away the excess, and then we're going to come in with the first fibre, which is a black cock hackle. Want a couple of strands here for the tail, and you probably want the tail to be, I'm going to say, length of the shank. Don't want it too long, but certainly get a few fibres here and it'll make up your tail quite nicely. Once you've decided on your length, you can come in and catch these in. Keep it on top folks. I've not run the thread all the way down, so make sure that you pinch this nice and tight, holding the tail end. Make sure everything, as I said, is on top, and keep a hold of it, running the thread down, and it will give you a nice tail. You get to where you want to be, which is probably just round about where the point of the hook is, or just after. Probably want to throw in a turn round the back and underneath, lifting all of this up. At this point folks, you can chop away the excess at the head of the fly, don't need that anymore. Then I'm going to come in with some grey Muskrat dubbing, nice and soft. Don't want too much of this at all, it's a light body, and you definitely want to build this up into a taper. So start small and build up, take your time and twist as you come up, and it'll give you that nice taper. As you can see folks, I've managed to taper this up quite nicely, just getting a few final wraps in. Pull away anything you don't need and lock this in. Pull away any excess, given this can be quite buggy and scruffy. You don't want all of this. Take out any guard hair you don't need and just tidy up. Okay, from there you're going to grab a bit of foam. So this is a piece of biscuit foam from a sheet that I've cut. It's probably about 2 mil in width. And just catching this on the top, make sure you keep it on top. Get a good few wraps down folks, you want this nice and locked in, and then you can come back down a little bit once this is all nicely tied in and covered with the thread. And from there folks, going to take 2 CDC feathers on each side, so 4 in total, pointing backwards, stacked on top of each other. These are the natural grey. Probably use black or white if you wanted. Keep them at a reasonable length just now because you're going to trim these, and just stack them on top of each other. Don't need to be too fussy about where you catch it in. If you catch in other fibres, it will just add to the body, totally fine. And once you've caught these in, you can tidy up and chop away your excess. Okay, and once you've tidied up the head area, everything's looking nice and tidy, lift all 4 feathers up, lifting them vertically, keep them nicely stacked together, and just looking to get a straight cut across the top just to give a nice tidied finish to this and tidy up any straggly bits on the CDC. Okay, good stuff. Just going to add in a little bit more of the Muskrat dubbing here at the thorax, just building up a little bit of a ball shape. And remove any wild fibres, guard hair that doing anything you don't want it to do, and you should be good to go. Just don't go over the top of this, just a little pinch at this point. Okay, we're on the home straight here folks. Take your piece of foam, bring it up and in between the feathers. Should sit quite nicely. Just stroke the feathers back if they're sort of getting in the way, and they'll naturally start to flow down each side. Some pieces might need a little bit more encouragement. Bring this right to the front and then tie it in nice with a good few turns. And once you're happy you've caught this in nice and securely, you can come in and whip finish underneath the foam that you've just tied in. 3 or 4 turn whip finish should do the job quite nicely, then you can cut away your thread. And pro tip from the non-pro, don't cut the foam too close to the thread. Continue to have a little bit of a bump at the front. This will allow you to give this fly a little bit of a tug and a nudge while it's out on the water, and it will create a dimple and won't submerge itself. It will attract the fish, which is exactly what you're looking for. Just make sure you're happy with how everything's sitting, just even things up and you're good to go. And there you have it folks, quick and effective little CDC grey duster should absolutely do the job. And dusters come off all the time, so yeah, certainly one to put in the box. I've tied a few of these, should be pretty good. As always, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. Be great to hear from you, and until next time, cheers.